the Gathering of Champions. Started in Denver, Colorado in 2016, I believe, or 2016 was our first event for the Gathering of Champions. We skipped last year, but we came back this year in full-fledged, all the way from Kansas City, Missouri. Is Donald Butler. Thank you for being here. So we really do appreciate you making the way out this way to come hang out with us. Then we have, of course, you all know Bishop Valley as well, all the way from the United Kingdom.
Bless you.
He blesses us every year being in the house. You've been from the beginning, 8 years since we've been doing this, since the church started. And I said last night that I thought that this was the best Gathering of Champions that we've had so far. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, thank you for having me, putting up with me, I should say. It's an honor to be here, first and foremost. Honor to be with Sons of Thunders, what his nicknames were when we were together in England. And I thought that this weekend, there was a moment yesterday where I just cried. I just cried because I was impressed with your wife on Friday, him opening us up yesterday, and Pastor Terrence Wilson following him. And at that point, I said to him, I joked to him later, I said, if you'd have put me up behind them, I was just going to do the Marvin Winans. Let the church say amen. And nothing I could say, because they knocked it out the park.
Yeah, they did.
And it, yes, to agree with you, for me, it's been phenomenal. It's been amazing.
And Donald, you've been here for a couple of them as well. You were here the year before last.
Correct.
And I'm trying to remember, you did the opening night, correct?
I did.
That Friday night?
I did.
Okay, so with all that, the excitement from the last time you were here, and then us trying to get you to move here, relocate here, how does it feel to be back?
Oh, it's great to be back. Every time I get a chance to come here, I don't know, it just reminds me of home so much.
Yeah.
You know, even though I'm in Kansas City, I'm not a Kansas Citian. I'm originally from the great state of Mississippi.
That's it.
And so, anytime I get a chance to be back down south and be around people who kind of come from the same cut of cloth, it's always a great time. So.
Yeah, man, it's always glad to have, we're always glad to have you as well. So Friday night we kicked off, my wife did what we call encouragement night. And she talked about combating compassion fatigue.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? What she did?
Well, I first of all, I think she did a great job. And I thought the topic was great because I think that's one of the things that we don't talk about a lot of times in church or in church settings because it's a real thing. I've met pastors who seem to be at the height of their ministry and because of burnout and fatigue, we're ready to step away and leave ministry.
Yeah.
So the fact that she came and she addressed it and gave people tools and ways that they could deal with that, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I agree with all of that. And to that, it's also good to take a time to take your team and say, thank you. And because serving us kind of people, if you will, when I mentioned our drive, our kingdom driving, and in many places, people haven't had a pastor that's driving them.
Sure.
He's preaching to them, but some of it is more religious activity than pushing them into their destiny.
Right.
And so to that, sometimes it's good just to peel back and say, hey, I appreciate you guys. You're helping us to carry the vision. And I just want to encourage you that you don't have to deal with this secret pain behind the scenes of trying to help carry this ministry.
Right, and it is heavy, especially, with us being now in the Clarksville area, 4 years only, and so much happening so fast with the paying off of the land and then, purchasing and renovating this place. And so they've been there through it all. The worship team, I think, did a fabulous job on Friday night, It was very, very encouraging to see their growth. And, you worked with them a little bit last year, or quite a bit last year.
Yes.
How do you feel about their growth?
I mentioned it yesterday during the session. I talked to some of them after service Friday night, and I told them I was absolutely ecstatic to see that their growth. I talked to some of the individuals, and I was like, you look like you believe what you see.
Yeah.
And when we first met and when we first engaged them, I wasn't sure all of them really believed the words that was coming out of their mouth.
Yeah.
But this week, it's it's been a night and day transformation.
Yeah, and they were a little bit nervous when you come.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. I was thinking of that because not only did you tell me, but there were some others who whispered to me, Bishop, the nervous team was a little nervous because they don't want you to pull a song that they don't know.
Right.
And so this morning, to set them up, you probably didn't realize this morning to set them up, I went and told them, I said, these are the two songs on my spirit.
Okay.
So we went through it.
Okay.
Just to see, I said, I'm either gonna do a little bit of both or one of those, if I do anything. So to kind of, but I agree with you again in that I think the word summary is confident.
Yes.
Confidence carries ministry, especially from, as you know, you all both know, from a worship team perspective.
Yeah.
If you're trying to lead people, I can't lead you where I'm not comfortable going myself.
Right. So yeah, there's a holy boldness that comes with that, right? And so let's go into the Saturday morning sessions. The first session we had, again, that was you, DB. You brought it with talking about worship and what it means to really usher in people into the presence of God. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, I kind of dealt with two things. One, from a congregational perspective, everybody should walk through the door with expectation.
Yeah.
It's not just on the worship team to come and entertain or sing you happy, so to speak.
Right.
Everybody who's walking through the door has a burden, has an expectation, has something. So everybody should be contributing to that environment. But specifically to the worship team, it's important for them to really foster the relationship that they're supposed to have with Christ.
Right.
Because it's through that relationship that worship really blossoms.
Right. And then from that worship session, we transitioned into Terrence, and I wish he was here with us to have this conversation, but he had to get back to his church to preach this morning. But Terrence talked about vision and leadership and what that looks like. What were your thoughts on what he said?
At one point, I just sat back in my chair and asked myself, is this Terrence? Terrence it was so wonderful watching him. It was absolutely rich. And I was like, it's Terrence? It's the same Terrence that I licensed many years ago, and watching him in his element. And both of you have heard me say from Fred Craddock that preaching and teaching is truth through personality. And to see his personality, how he used his personality to teach yesterday, and it wasn't just style, it was also substance. It was great substance.
Right.
And as I said to your leaders yesterday, I pray that you can find a way to make both sessions, well, really include Jen's, to be all three sessions available to where they can continue to listen to that. Because as you referred to yesterday, the 21 days to form a new habit. And so I pray that I really enjoyed that, and the whole island things that stands out. Went from these different islands. He pulled together a lot of information. And
you can tell he did his homework. Was a seamstress with information, and he sewed it all together from John Maxwell to Jim Collins. I think there's a little bit of Sam Chan in there as well. And it was just great, and to tie all of that in, of course, with the Word of God was really impactful. So then from the sessions, we end up going into the gala later that evening. They turned the place into a restaurant, looked like a 5-star spot. Kay and the team did a wonderful job setting that up.
100%.
And each year, I think that it gets better. The decorations and just the feel of it all. It's like we're getting to a place where we know what the atmosphere is that we're trying to set.
Let me though, we celebrate your team, but at the heart of that, we have to. It says to me a lot about you and your wife and your excellent mindset, because your team is learning from you. And at any point, if you see something you don't like, you can go to, no, I don't like this or this and that. And my interaction with your team has been, they are willing workers. They have the vision, and they want to serve God by serving you, Jen, and serve your vision. And I think I will concur with that as well. That the place looked just really beautiful. The food was delicious.
Yes.
You want to talk about them green beans?
I told the after I had gotten my meal and I had eaten. Well, first of all, when I first sat down and I tasted green bean, I was like, "Oh my goodness!" I said, "These green beans taste like my mama's green beans."
Yeah.
And so I went back up and I told them, everything was good. I said, "But them green beans was remarkable," And again, just kind of going back to my initial comments about getting a chance to be in the South, that just kind of was like the icing on the cake because I don't get to taste food like that in Kansas City.
Okay. Well, shout out to Elder Edmonds and your team for the smorgasbord of food. You guys always do a great time. Every year they cater our event.
Yeah, I was gonna see if I could sneak in a shout out to them as well, because before we started, I just wanted a little bit to drink, and I went over and got some lemonade, and I looked at the spread. I said, "This looks real nice," and the lady asked me, she says, I forgot. She asked me what kind of food do I prefer? I said, I prefer seafood.
Okay.
And she says, well, I'm sorry, the salmon is not here tonight. I said, no, I'm not talking about that. And I don't know if they're sisters. It was actually the elder that corrected the other lady and said, no, he said SEE food, not seafood. So after the evening, as they were breaking down and leaving, the lady came to me. She said, so did you see any food tonight that you like? And I said, yeah, I absolutely enjoyed. It was delicious.
Yeah, outstanding. And of course, I made the Arnold Palmer, and that was just spot on. I could have drank that whole pitcher. So they did a fantastic job. So now we're here on Sunday morning. The word that God has put in your spirit, I know is going to bless us for years to come. Let's talk about that just for a little bit.
Okay. So we're going to take a journey through Joseph's life.
Okay.
And I hope I remember to say this when I'm up, that last night you allowed me to speak to your house, which allows me to speak to the leadership and the mindset of the ministry. And so today I'm pulling back, not speaking directly to the house, but just not directly to leadership per se, but the entire house, and try to encourage the house through a line from Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, the bishop, well, I'll explain it later. Y'all have to come back and watch it on video. I'll explain it how I get to this point, but I'm going to talk about They Not Like Us.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a splendid weekend. Another successful gathering of champions. I appreciate you, bro, for coming in and being with us.
Glad to be here, man.
Thank you, Bishop, for coming all the way again, to be with us for another year. Thank you, Terrence, in your absence today for being with us. And of course, a special shout out to my lovely wife, my bride of 25 years this year, for opening up this conference. And man, I can't wait until service today so that we can hear what thus says the word of the Lord. Thank you all for tuning in with us again, Bishop Valley.
Bless you. Good. Thank you for coming by. It's been phenomenal. It's a joy to be able to set between the third son of Thunders is not here with us, but I'm even believing God that he's going to be with us 1 year to share in this moment, because I was just thinking as we were talking earlier that he could probably do a piece on being number two. Now, while you fill that role, he was the first of the three of you to be my number two, and he could speak to your team on how to be good at being number two. Each of you carried your unique roles. That's why you were the Sons of Thunder, and each of you carried your unique roles. But back to here, it's been phenomenal being here. And there's a songwriter said, I don't know who wrote it, but I'm gonna start with just part of the lyrics and say, "There's no place I'd rather be." So this particular weekend, there's no place. Matter of fact, I had a guy call me, try to get me to come preach for him today.
Okay.
He called me to preach his anniversary today.
You were in Tennessee.
No. They knew I was in the States, but he asked me to come preach his anniversary. I said, no, I'm going to my son in Tennessee.
Oh, bless God.
You should have called me early. But can you change the date? Because I'm not changing him. Because I'm gonna be with my guy.
We appreciate you, Bishop. I'm telling you, I just get so rejuvenated when you guys are here, and a couple of years now, it's been both of you here. I can't wait till more of the crew is able to come and join us at the next guy.
I know we're trying to close, but let me just say this. There was a piece yesterday when Terrence and Crystal were going through, Pastor Wilson and his wife were going through this whole piece of whether or not they're going to stay through to today. But there was a piece that you can't put on this tape, and that was the fellowship that we had and reminiscing Y'all told me some stories I didn't even remember, but I'm gonna leave those off.
Yeah, and we could reminisce like forever. Again, you know, just think about the first time I ever stepped in Lighthouse, and he was leading praise and worship, and then you came out the back and did a little bit of praise and worship, and I was like, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. So, you know, yeah, I love it, and hope to see what God has for us in the future for the next adventure.
Look forward to it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. God bless you all. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.